and welcome to another live lesson with me, Mr. R. And welcome to AM Language. Thank you very much for joining today. I'm just going to put my headphones in because I think the sound is better. So, welcome to everybody. Today is our live lesson. There's a bit of a glare, isn't this? Maybe that's better. I'm not too sure, actually. So, welcome to today's lesson. I hope all of you are doing well. And today we are going to look at the present continuous versus the future simple. And more to say on the future simple in just a moment. Irina, good afternoon. Irina F. Privyet. Welcome to today's lesson. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you had a good weekend as well. Maybe it is better with this on. I don't know. I've got this light here, and sometimes I'm not sure if it's better or worse. I'm going to leave it on. Maybe it's better in some weird way. Bruno Okada, good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson. I hope you're doing well as well. I hope you all had a really good weekend. I had a good weekend myself. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day. If you had lessons today, I hope the lessons went well as well. This week, if I'm not mistaken, last week was upper intermediate. So this week is intermediate, a level test. So best of luck to all of you. Best of luck on that one. Now, I'm just going to, while we're waiting for more people to join, because I was, on time today. I'm just going to tell you guys about what to expect this week at AM Language. So, AM Language this week, what can you expect in terms of activities? So, today you guys have a slimmer city walk. So this is really ideal for new students. You got chill out by the sea, meet and greet. So your typical normal Monday. Tuesday, you've got Casa Rocca Piccola. So that's in Valletta. So the morning, you've got the option really tomorrow morning to go to Valletta. You then also have an option to go to the spa on Tuesday afternoon. So if you like the spa, if you like if you want to have a massage, you have that option. And then in the evening on Tuesday, you have a football match that you can play in. Wednesday, you've got apologies. I'm not very good at pronouncing different names in Malta. Sandra, good afternoon. Nice to see you again. Guten Tag. You've got you know what? I should have read that better. You've got Salmon Bay and Coral Lagoon. Now, Coral Lagoon is a famous lagoon in Malta, and I should say we've got a good clip of. I have a good clip of Coral Lagoon that I want to use in some videos in the future. And then we also have Mdina by Night Treasure Hunt. Mdina, for those of you who don't know, is a very old city. It's about 1,000 years old, if I'm not mistaken. And it was built by the Persians, I believe. Thursday, you've got 3 cities and temple tour. You've got temples in Malta that are about 5,000 years old. And then in the evening, you've got Golden Bay and a beach barbecue. I do recommend going to a beach barbecue at Golden Bay. It's a lovely part of Malta if you haven't been, and no better way to enjoy it than with a nice barbecue. Friday, for those of you who are interested, you've got scuba diving. Malta is a great place for scuba diving. So if you want to try scuba diving, you can do that on Friday. And then in the evening, you've got another Mdina tour. Saturday, Saturday, you've got the best of Gozo and Camino. So those are your options. And you've also Sunday, you've got the option to go on a jet ski, kind of like the motorbike of the sea. And then south of Malta, you also have the options to go to like St. Peter's Pool. So all that to look forward to this week at AM Language. So if you want to take part in those activities, yeah, that's it. So guys, as for today, we are going to look at the present continuous versus the future simple. Now, Alida requested this, and I know that it's going to be particularly useful to some of you, especially if you're doing coming up to level tests, and it's important to know what the difference is. By the way, guys, if the light isn't quite right, just let me know. I don't think that light is really doing anything, to be honest. No, I don't think it was doing anything. So let me know, guys, if you what you know about the future simple and the present continuous as we go along today. But we do need to look at it, and it's not always so straightforward. The first thing I need to tell you guys is this: technically speaking, in English, there is no future simple or future. In terms of grammar, should I say, there's no future tense. That's what I should say. So there is no future tense. There is no future tense. Okay, in English, you only have two tenses. So what do we mean by the future tense? Well, we call it the future tense because we're always using the modal verb will. But technically speaking, this has a different name. And it's called the future. Well, it's actually called future modality. So what we're really talking about here is how you can use modal verbs to talk about the future. And that makes it different. Now, typically speaking, we'll usually end up looking at will. From elementary all the way up to intermediate and even some parts of upper intermediate, when you see the future, you will be looking at will. And that's because it's the most common one we use to talk about the future. But it's not quite simple as that. So let's get into it today, and we can start off by looking at what's the difference between present continuous and future simple. Now, on one, I'm just going to go with A and B as two categories. And this way we can discover which category is the future, well, should I say future modality, and which one is the present continuous. So let's go with A. What are the characteristics of A? Okay. The first characteristics of A that we need to think about is we're going to have to use the verb to be. And we're always going to follow it with a verb, ing form, usually going. We use this when we're talking about plans or things, let's say, such as events or actions that we believe are 100% nailed on in the future. So that is the construction. That's what we need to look for for A, sorry, okay? B, the attributes for B are as follows. Okay, we're talking about the future. Usually it'd be anything between 90 and 100%. And we will use a modal verb. In this case, it's going to be will. Okay, so those are your two characteristics. Now, the question is, A or B? You've got future simple. Let's just stick to that for now. Or you've got present continuous. So those are your two options, and we need to link it to A and B. I'm now going to give you some examples, and you guys can decide if future simple goes with A or B, and likewise with present continuous. So let's look at this. We have I'm going to the shops at 4. I will go to the shops later. I will call her back. I'm going to call her soon. So guys, you need to tell me, what do you think? If we look at the requirements for A, you've got the verb to be, you've got verb plus the ing, and we're talking about plans or things, events, actions that we believe are 100% sort of nailed on in the future. And then we've got B, which is talking about the future. It's usually 90 to 100%, and we'll use the modal verb will. So if we go with, the question is, which one is present continuous, and which one is future simple? Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So sentence 1, I'm going to the shops at 4. So let me know if you think that is option A or option B. You've got Maria Rojas, buenos dias, and welcome to today's lesson. We are looking at present continuous and the future simple. When do we use present continuous, and when do we use the future simple? So what we have here is, if you look up the live chat, you can see A over here. You've got the verb to be, you've got the verb ing, such as going, and you're using it to talk about plans, like events and actions that you believe are 100% in the future. With option B, you've got talking about the future, 90 to 100% certain modal verbs such as will, and you need to decide, is it A or B? So Sandra says 1 goes with A. So I'm going to the shops at 4. So Sandra is saying 1 goes with A. Okay. Arena F has given me her answers. So 1 and 4 go with A. 2 and 3 go with B. Okay. Very good. Let's see if you guys agree, and then you guys can tell me which one is present continuous and which one is future simple, A or B. Sandra, you've given me the rest of your answers now. You think 2 is B, 3 is B, 4 is A. So Arena F and Sandra have the same answers. So great, you've got the same answers. Do you think option A is present continuous, or do you think it's future simple? Or do you think B is present continuous, or do you think it's future simple? So you've got it right in terms of linking them to the categories A or B. And now we need just to make sure that we all know which one is the present continuous and which one is the future simple. So let me know in the live chat. So we've had a look at, because we've now had a look at that. So then we're going to go on to see if you guys can actually start putting these things together. I'm going to give you the choice as well. The activities at first will be a little bit easy, but then I will make them harder. And by the end, they might be a lot harder. But I want to start off at an easier pace, and we'll go as far as we can. This is the sort of thing you will learn at elementary and it's more pre-intermediate, if anything. This is very much pre-intermediate grammar, to make sure that we know the very basics, but we can do this all the way through up to upper intermediate, not a problem. So, just to establish, A is the present continuous, and B, of course, is the future simple. So we've now understand that. Let's move on to the next task. So let's see how we get on here. So A, I might write something like this. I might write this, okay? I going Spain week. You guys then need to complete it. So you would then write, I am going to Spain next week. So I'm only going to give you part of the sentence. Likewise, again, to give you another example. I go Spain week. You will then write, I will go to Spain next week. Okay, so that is the task. That's what you need to do. So I'm going to give you an incomplete sentence and you need to complete it. Let's go. Number 1. One is I going home month, and number 2, I go home month. What do you guys think? Can you try and complete those 2 sentences? I like to think that we're starting off at a nice pace, and then we'll make it more and more difficult as we go along. So you've got these. Okay, so Sandra, very quick here. I'm going to home next month. Let's see if Maria says, I'm going home next month. I will go at home next month. Okay. Overall, very similar answers. There's 1 or 2 things we can look at, but I'll give you guys just 30 more seconds, and then so Sandra says with her sentence it's without 2, so you're changing it to I'm going home next month. That is better, actually. Yeah, you don't need to go to home. Bruno says I'm going to home next month. Okay, we need to know this, guys. To home, we don't use to home. You always when it comes to home, verb plus home. So I'm going home next month. I'm going home tonight. No, we don't use. Very rarely do we use a preposition. When would we use a preposition? The only time I can think you could possibly use a preposition with home is if you used leave, like, for instance, I'll leave for home tomorrow, for example. That's the only time I can think of when you would use a preposition with home, and that's with the verb leave. But most of the time, you don't need a preposition with home. Let's see. But the rest of the sentence is good. I will go. They saying, yeah, it's my home. I will go. Okay. If you use my, this changes. So I will go home. If you say I will go home, you are automatically saying I will go to my house. That's what it means. So I don't need to say my home. If I say I will go to, if I'm going to use a pronoun plus home, then I do need to. So, for instance, she will go to her home, his home, their home. Okay, so if you're going to go with a pronoun, you would have to plus pronoun plus home. That is when you can use it. Sandra says, Richard, one question. I've learned we use will never with plans. It is wrong. She will go to her home, has home, their home. Oh, his home. No, that was me actually. Learned. Okay, right, I see. Well, this is it. There's a difference when you're talking about plans. And this is the important thing. Plans that are okay, here's a phrase for you. Set in stone. Set in stone, very good phrase, means 100% going to happen. So when plans are set in stone, that is quite important actually. Set in stone. Yeah, I don't need to put any sort of dashes between them. If we're going to talk about that, then you use the present continuous. So we use it when we are talking about a set in stone plan. This is going to happen. Will, we're not, you see, you still are going to be talking about plans of some nature, but you use will when plans are not set in stone. So if I say I will go home later, it's a plan in your head. It's an intention, but it's not 100%. It's not it's not a set in stone plan, and that's the main difference. So when you're talking about a plan that is going to happen, you use the present perfect. If it's an idea, even if it's a strong idea of a plan, then we would use will. Let's go again, okay? This time I'm going to change the exercise just a little bit, okay? Let's see what we're going to do here. I'm leaving tomorrow. Or B, I will leave tomorrow. C, I will leave tomorrow if the weather is good. Now, let's see what this means. We've got 1, 100%. Option 2, 90%. Now, this is where we need to be careful. I'm only giving you 2 options, yet I've given you three. I've given you 3 sentences, but only 2 options. Now, can you tell me which ones are 100% and which ones are 90%? Let's see what you guys say. So let's see what you say. I think there's another one that I can always add to this. So Sandra says, I had so much discussions with my English teacher about this topic. It's a long topic to have. Um, so this is why it's important to have a look at it again. But like I said, we've got to remember will is usually between 90 and 100%. It depends on one or two things as well. A is 100%, B and C are 90%. Okay, let's run with Bruno's answer here because I would like to make my point, and it's to do with an adverb. You see, I'm going to leave tomorrow. This is 100%. This is a plan. Will, most of the time, we are going to put this at 90%. The intention might be 100%. How do you make will 100% when we're talking something like a plan? I will. Okay. What? And now again, this is strong. If you want to make will 100%, and it's very clear that it's 100%, you're going to have to add language. You're going to have to add, I will definitely leave tomorrow no matter what. Now, no matter what is very strong. No matter what and definitely. First of all, I have seen your thing here, Maria. So Maria has asked Richard, I have a question. When I read redacted an email, can I use a present respond to an email? Can I use a present continuous, for example, a comment my plans 100%, or I will do. If I would say, Maria, that if it's talking about plans, usually go with the present continuous when you are sure, when you're 100% sure. The present continuous is the safest one to use with plans, but there's something we do need to know about the future will. So Sandra says A is 1, B is 2, C is 2. Yes, that's correct. When we're talking about future plans with will, we're talking about a future intention. We could be very certain that it's going to happen, but there's always a margin sort of thing. Okay, so that's why it's going to be 90%. But why do I say that if I say I will definitely leave tomorrow no matter what, this is strong. First of all, definitely. If you use definitely, this automatically makes whatever you're saying 100% certain. It doesn't matter that you're using will at this point. You've used this adverb, and this adverb is 100%. No matter what simply means no change. So if you say, I will definitely leave tomorrow, no matter what, that is just as strong as saying, I'm going to leave tomorrow. There's no difference in meaning anymore. You've used a strong adverb of 100, which is 100%, definitely, and you've used the term at the end, no matter what, and that's 100% as well. So there's no change there. Now, like I said, guys, will usually is going to be between 90 and 100%. It does depend on context. It depends on intonation. For example, if I want to make will all of a sudden weak, I can just put think in. If I say, I think I will leave tomorrow, this is really weak. If I say, I think I will leave tomorrow, this is now going to be really weak. You could even argue, is that even 90% to say, I think? Sandra says, I'm going to Madrid tomorrow. Ticket for train is booked. Yes, Sandra. So you've booked your ticket. You know it's going to happen. Therefore, I am going to Madrid tomorrow. Yes, absolutely. That's 100% certain. That is a set in stone plan because you've bought your ticket. And I think that the ticket is a good idea. Before you have bought your ticket, it's Go with will. After you have bought your ticket, go with the present continuous. Okay? And I think the ticket is a really good one there. So thank you, Sandra. I think that makes it very clear. Before the ticket, will. After the ticket, present continuous. Okay. Right. Let's move on. I'm now going to write some sentences, and you need to decide how strong you're going to make it. Okay. So, um, okay. And B. So she to get the job. Let me rewrite that one again, actually, because I've made a mistake. Actually, B first and A second. Well, that's not very good, Richard. Because I've just realized. Okay, there we go. So she something get the job. I've spoken to the manager and she liked her. She get the job. I have a good feeling. What do you guys think? Complete the sentences for me. You've got A and then you've got B and A. I've put it in reverse order. Let me know what you guys think. Which one would you make with a will and which one would you make as a present continuous? Think carefully about the extra context that I've added. So in B, I've spoken to the manager and she liked her, and I have a good feeling. So you need to think which one which one gives you more confidence, should I say. This is now something that we'll be talking about, like, okay, the person went for a job interview, and you can read the situation, so you're going to come out with one of these things. Okay, so like I said, situations, it does can make it changes obviously the context, but the rules of the game remain the same. So B, she's going to get the job. I've spoken to the manager and she liked her. So A is will. She will get the job. I have a good feeling. Okay. Irina has gone with she will get the job. I have a good feeling. She's going to get the job. I've spoken to the manager and she liked her. So you, Sandra and Irina F, both agree with the same answers. Maria has gone with A, she will, and B, she is going to. So same answers there. And Bruno, A, she's going to get the job, and B, she will get the job. So there, Bruno has gone with the reverse. I would say, based off that context, we're going to have B, which is present continuous. Continuous. And we're going to have A, which is future simple. And the clue is with the rest of the sentence. So if we look at A, you've got she will get the job. I have a good feeling. Would people say, oh, she's going to get the job, I have a good feeling? Yeah, you will hear people say it. However, based on the context of certainty, this should be will, because we're going off a feeling here. We have no facts to tell us that this is going to happen. But if we have spoken to the manager like in B, then we can use the present continuous because we have maybe good evidence to think that, okay, this is going to happen. Right, let's go again. This time I'm going to give you more choices as well. Sandra says, be a question, but how can we be sure 100% it is a feeling? Yeah. Um, well, like I said, B is going to be to be to be a question, but how can we be sure 100% it is a feeling? Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't go personally with A, using it with sorry, B, sorry, yes, you're talking about B. Yeah, I would go with the present. Wait a minute, we're talking about feelings, yes? Okay, feelings. So we're talking about A. Yeah, with feelings, I would go with will rather than the future continuous. My point is that you will hear people use the present continuous even if they are talking about a feeling, but that's because of how strong the feeling is. There we need to think about the context. It's a little bit like okay, before I write what I'm going to write, okay, I'm going to give you a very clear example of this one. Okay. Situation dependent. Don't worry, that should be a lowercase he, but he to make it. Okay, so the situation here is someone is dying. This guy is dying, and person A is trying to comfort person B. And person A tells person B, don't worry, he is going to make it. Now, why would you choose to use the present continuous here? This is just a feeling, maybe. I have a feeling he's going to make it. This is because of the context. This is no longer talking about a plan, though. And that's the difference. So if you're not talking about a plan, but now you're talking about prediction, then you can use the present continuous to talk about it. And I think that's an important distinction. So, for instance, if it's a job like the previous one, there's still a plan in place there. There's a plan to how they're going to build a team, there's a plan how this person is going to get a job. But if you're talking about life and death, and you're now talking about not a plan, but you're talking about a difficult situation, then you can start using the present continuous in a different context. And I would say this, okay? I'm just going to reiterate this. Plan, present continuous, continuous, okay? Prediction, present continuous, or future simple. You need to think about the context, and that's going to fuel the next sentence here. So let's see how you guys do. So, Okay, right. English people in daily conversation, they use more will as going to. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Again, situation dependent. It depends how strong the plan is, or if, again, think of like the ticket. Have they bought the ticket? If they've bought the ticket, they're going to use the present continuous. If they haven't bought the ticket, they're going to probably use will. However, if it's a prediction, they're going to jump and change between the two, depending on how strongly they feel about it. um, I think not. They use more present continuous ing. Again, it depends. It really depends of how strong they feel about it. Or if you're talking about a plan. So I'm going to move, yes, to the south of France. My sister will. Yes, well done, Sandra. So that's off to a good start there. I'm going to move to France at the end of the month. I've sold my house and I'm looking forward to it. I bought a nice little place near Lyon. Yeah, so he's bought the ticket. That's why it's I'm going to. Um, my sister will join me later in the summer if she can. Yes, that's the intention. That is a plan of sorts, but it's she hasn't bought the ticket. So Irina F has gone with I'm going to move to France at the end of the month. My sister will join me later in the year, in the summer, if she can. I have a good feeling and I'm going to be in a position to buy some animals. Good. Okay, we're doing well. Maria agrees with Sandra. Excellent. Well done. Let's look at the last one. I think I meet someone. Um, Actually, let me change that. So, because I think I've made, yeah, I've added an extra thing. Sorry, I'm just changing one thing just so it's. So Sandra says, I have a good feeling and I'm going to someone. I will be I will be something. I think I'm going to meet someone. It's just a feeling. Okay, will. Okay, cool. Excellent. Well done, guys. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So, guys, look, let's go through the answers here. The last one. Now, if you are a romantic and you have very strong feelings about this, you might be tempted to say, I think I'm going to meet someone special as well, but it's just a feeling. Grammatically, because it's just a feeling, I personally would go for will. So I agree with you, Maria and Bruno. Like I said, when we're talking about predictions, you can go with either present continuous or future simple, depending on the type of prediction and how strong you feel about the prediction. So thinking of what's going to happen. But when we are talking about plans, and this is going to be my main point at the end of the day, when we are talking about plans, if you've bought the ticket, it's present continuous. If you have not bought the ticket, it is will. And that is the simplest way to think about it. When it comes to, in terms of trying to, think about what's going to happen in the future, that is something different. We've got, most of the time, you're going to be using conditionals, probably. There's other things to think about. But that's the most important difference we need to know about the present present continuous and the future simple. Just remember this question. Have you bought the ticket? So I'll put that in again. Bought the ticket, present continuous. Haven't bought the ticket, then you use will. And that is the most important thing when we are talking about plans. Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's lesson. I think what I can do is in the future, maybe next week, we can talk a bit about predictions and how to talk about predictions. Maria says, I was thinking, my friend, I will stay here a long time, or can I use that? I will stay here. Okay, so you were thinking, okay, so you were saying you were thinking of your friend. I will stay here a long time more. Okay, I will stay here for more time. I will stay here for more time. I will stay here longer. Actually, I would go with that one, Maria. I will stay here longer. Question, says Bruno. When I need to use meet someone in few minutes later, what have to say? I'm going there now, or I will go there now. I need, okay, question. When I need to meet someone in okay, few minutes, present continuous. I'm going to meet someone in a few minutes. If it's a few minutes, Bruno, go with that. If it's like in a few hours and lots of things could still happen, then you can say, I will meet them later. Okay, so Maria says, thank you very much, Richard. You're welcome, Maria, and thank you for joining today and your participation. Bruno says, thank you. Thank you, Bruno. Thank you, Sandra, and thank you very much, Sandra, for all your questions. If you have more questions, just ask. If you feel that there's something that isn't quite clear enough, please just ask. I would be more than happy to look at your questions. Arena F, you too. Thank you so much for joining today as well. And anyone else? I think that's about it. Arena says, thank you, Richard. I'm visiting your lesson tomorrow. Thank you very much. I will see you tomorrow then in this lesson as well. Thank you very much. Sandra says, the good news is if we use wrong tense, English people will understand us. Yes, this is true. English people will understand you. And that's more to do with the communication meaning. Most of the time, yes. It depends how big the mistake. The mistake between will and going to is so small at times, people will still understand. It's not the same as making the mistake between will and might. That would be a very big difference. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Have a lovely week. Have a lovely evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And tomorrow we are going to be looking at future forms. So make sure you tune in for that. Like the video, share, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. And as always, you can find links to AM Language's website in the description below, where you can find out how you can visit Malta and learn English on this beautiful island. Thank you so much, and bye for now.